Hey, 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 what's up, Live family? It's your host, Cara-Mel, and I'm so excited. For those who saw part one, thank you so much of the David Lampman exclusive interview. Now, as we move on to week two, we're looking at part two of this exclusive interview with this amazing, inspirational pop superstar in the making. Stay tuned, and thank you so much for your support. You gotta live. You gotta live. You gotta. Yo, my latter years, my greatest years. Shed a few tears, sacrifice, walking my purpose and calling, have no fear. New you, new male, chosen by the most high. No weapon formed against us can dim our lives. Yes, gotta live for the promised land. Live to see another day. Yeah, you gotta take a stand. Show up, show out, voice to the people. Live to be the best version of self. You gotta live.
As a troubled youth, I'd spend most of my days here at Jumpin' Java. I would skateboard, play my guitar, make out with chicks, get in fights, and eventually was arrested for disorderly conduct and banned from the property. I walked in illegally one day on a Bible study. They were talking about the Apostle Paul's conversion. The pastor asked if I would meet with him the next week, and I said I wasn't even allowed to be there. After getting permission from the judge, I met with him for 3 years, during which I surrendered my life to Christ, became close friends with the owner, and even was allowed to set up a stage in the courtyard and perform annually for the Coast Guard Festival.
Thank you for sharing that with the Live family. So, all right, let's get to the music talk. Stay Gold is the brand new single. Okay, what is the concept? He got the t-shirt, y'all. He got the t-shirt. Hold on, where my t-shirt? Y'all be coming up here with t-shirts. But Stay Gold. What is the concept? What is the story behind it? And give the Live family a little bit of little 411 on it.
Okay. Wow. So Stay Gold is about sexual purity. It's not an area of my life that I've been perfect in. But years ago, before I decided to do Christian music, I wrote a song called Honey Drops. And it was just a general idea, a general way to escape depression. And a girl had said, like, your song stopped me from cutting myself. God was trying to warn me back then that words carry weight. But I still kept trying to be Justin Timberlake and writing about the coolest things and making myself look all great. There was a huge disconnect. When I finally decided to do Christian music, I didn't go all the way in. I said, God, music, like Christian music is so boring. Like, I don't want to. He's like, just start with what's going on right now in your heart. And so apparently it was okay that Walk Anyway was good enough. It was like just writing about what the struggle was. And so I learned, one of the questions he asked me was, how does it feel, David, to sing about the same ex-girlfriend every single night at the bars? Like, that was 10 years ago. Like, that was 8 years ago. Like, I'm like, it feels just the way it did when she broke up with me. Because I wrote it descriptively. I wrote it in just the way, like, just how I wanted to remember it. And so I put myself back in that moment. So I developed this, this understanding that, what am I trying to say? Basically, I wanted to write what was current. And so if I'm up there and I'm singing about the old pain, I'm going to bring back the old pain. So I wanted to give people a way out by the end of my song. If I was going to mention my pain, I wanted there to be a resolve towards the end and not leave them feeling down in the dumps. So I've had people ask me to write music for them. That's not something I like to do because I feel it's got to be something that's me. Yeah. And one of the things I've struggled with was sexual purity over the years. And I figure if I'm going to sing something over and over and over again, it needs to be something I believe. Yeah. And so on Christmas Eve, I have a lot of songs that I'm trying to get out. I've got a lot of songs. and this one skipped 6 other songs, plus like 5 other acoustic ones. This one just on Christmas Eve, I've been watching another artist of the opposite sex was doing a like a devotional. And I'm like, well, that's cool. And she was talking about her sexual purity struggle, and I was like, that's really awesome. I don't know if this is the space for me. I'm not going to really engage because she's got all, female friends and stuff. But I learned about it, and learning about that from a female really made me, at first it made me intimidated.
Yeah.
But then it made me want to be a kingdom man even more.
Yeah.
And there's so much need for this for men.
Yes.
And so I was like, where's this person for the guys? Like, where's this person that's coming out and being vulnerable and talking about their struggle? Yeah. And this could possibly be, there could be momentum. Someone, I could share a struggle and someone else can come out and say they share it too. So I wanted to come out with a song and start a big conversation, and then be able to give younger guys some resources and some inspiration and some stories of like the way that God has carried me through the struggle.
Yeah. No, that's good. No, it's interesting that you mentioned, and the concept of the song is much needed. You're right. A lot of people struggle, with sexuality and the purity of it all, because God created it for marriage, and it's hard. I have friends and people that I know that are choosing to be celibate, abstinence, but they don't know what that looks like in, say, a dating scene, so I think the song does bring like a lot of it starts the conversation, which actually I would like to invite you to my podcast, because we're going to do like a panel to talk about that, my sister-in-law and I as well, and I would love to get like a male's perspective. I'm going to have like a round table. It's going to be like on a Zoom, but I would love for you to kind of chime in, And
I have to be sitting at a round table in my apartment?
No.
Or can I... Okay.
There you go. You got jokes. No. But no, it's much needed, and I think it's good because a lot of men they're quiet about it, and I know it's hard. Some say it's harder for men than women, but it's much needed conversation. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because it's something that I'm actually putting together to talk about that as well. Just something to help people who are dating and so forth, and courting, the process of that. So I ain't gonna say too much because this is gonna be a TV, but when it comes out, it'll be,
yeah.
But
I want to share a little about the process too, the inspiration behind the sound.
Okay.
Right. Like I just have my Yamaha HS8s, which isn't just right. I got these for free, and these are like $800 speakers. Okay. So I had all of this gear, but I didn't have my Logic Pro, which I had been learning. And I was like, I had the music and I wanted to start writing to it. So it started with the music. I was watching the documentary of Motown.
Okay.
And I was relearning a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I was learning, and all my stuff had been going like pop, like Timberlake, like Timberland. Like I'm trying to get back to the sound that I had before I was a Christian artist, so that I can connect with who I want to connect with. Yeah. And this was my attempt at R&B. Okay. And I started learning about Gladys Knight and the Pips. Yeah. And I started learning about the Temptations and all of this stuff. And I'm like, this is 2 hours from my house that all of this was happening.
I was gonna say you're in Michigan.
Yeah, and then obviously I knew Michael Jackson, did a lot of time there, but it was Smokey Robinson and this guy named Gordy Berry that was sharing their story. Gordy Berry said that he worked for Ford Motors, and he was working on an assembly line, and he started watching these cars be put together step by step, and he said, I want to treat people like that. Yeah. So he wanted to put people through an assembly line, A&R, teaching them how to sing, teaching them how to dance, and then you get something like Michael Jackson where they just do everything. And I was already obsessed with, I was going through this I did the Rihanna phase a while ago, but I was going through this Aaliyah phase, and then I'm like, what? Aaliyah is Gladys Pips' niece? Like, I'm like, no way. So, but anyways, he was talking about the reverb in some of their songs that people really wanted, and they were laughing, saying it was coming from their bathroom wall. And I was like, I got this little apartment. I'm so inspired right now. I've been listening to all these great songs all over again. I want to try to harness this inspiration and get it into a song. Yeah. So that's what I did.
Nice. So that was my next question. So do you do your own? So you do your own production for all your song mostly, or?
Nope. So I have like 3 CDs that I produced on my own. When I stopped doing acoustic based music, I realized that I have an idea of a song and it comes and goes so quickly. In order to keep the music that's out there current with what I'm going through or what I want to talk about, I have to make the process quicker. So what I do is I go to YouTube and I'll type like Timberlake type beat or Aaliyah type beat or Weekend type beat, and I'll find something and I'll write to it. And if it's something that I feel like I can sell or want to make content out of, I will go ahead and buy the exclusive rights for that music. Now for Stay Gold, it was interesting because I purchased all the stems, so I was able to switch out some of the instruments. So I switched out the bass drum, I switched out the bass guitar, I added a but no, I get down with like mixing and production. Like I'm really good at all that stuff and I mixed and mastered it myself. I recorded all the vocals myself and the harmonies. But yeah, I was able to, I would say I did most of the production on that, and it sounds way better than it did when I bought it. So.
Well, it sounds great. No, so if there is anything that you can share, like what is, say, for example, that no one knows about you that you would like to share with the LYV family? Like, is there a favorite scripture you might have or something that you just want to share?
Well, I don't know how to whistle.
You know, what?
I know, isn't that weird? It's the dumbest thing ever. Lord, when you made David Lampman, you said I'm not gonna let him whistle.
Like, what's your favorite Bible scripture?
In 2 Samuel 23:20, and it's also in 1 Chronicles 27:5. So a lot of Old Testament, but I've been dealing with a lot of life change lately, and I've been presented with a lot of decisions, hard decisions that require a lot of faith. And I'm just like, Lord, I'm not going to say anything. You have to give me the faith.
Yeah.
But in this verse, no one preaches on this, but there's this dude named Benaiah. Have you ever heard of Benaiah?
I vaguely remember, I think. Yeah.
So Benaiah found himself in a snowy pit with a lion. And there's just one verse that says, and he killed a lion in a snowy pit. And I just started thinking about, Mark Batterson has this book based on that. And he talks about how that looks on a resume. Like, because Benaiah ended up becoming, so I'm reading this book called When David Perceived He Was King. Okay. And it's all about the time in between he was anointed king and he assumed the position and all the stuff he had to go through, who he had to submit to, what he had to run from, the humility that was required before God would promote him, the identity shift that was going on. I mean, his first giant was not Goliath. It was his insecurities caused by his dad not wanting him. So, I mean, and for not having a dad growing up, like, I mean, that hit home too. So it's like, is my identity ready for my calling? So
that's powerful.
But now this is about David's top armor bearer, the leader of his guards, Benaiah. And he took on Benaiah because he basically saw the resume. It's like, a lion chaser. Like, he chased lions. There's a difference between someone that runs from lions or sees lions and freezes up and one that chases a lion. Think about being in a pit filled with snow with a lion. Like, a lion chaser grabs life by the mane. And so it's just this exciting take initiative and go with it and kind of thing. Before that, my favorite verse was in the prodigal son story in Luke chapter 15, and it says, while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion toward him. It's this idea of like the prodigal son, but I like to picture the father was like staying up every night looking for his son, waiting for him to come back, packing his things up and searching for him. While he was still a long way off, his father saw him and ran toward him. And it's like, you think you've screwed up so bad that you're so far from your heavenly father, but just know that he's chasing after you, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Those are both good scriptures. Now, so what is on the horizon as far as your music? What's in the works? I know you
What's
always
in
got
the works?
something going on. Yeah, you always got something going on.
Okay, well, I've got a collab coming out in March.
Okay.
And then I've got a collab coming out in April. And this is all within the same circle of friends.
Okay.
And actually, this is a lyric right here from my next song that's coming out. I can show it to you. I keep this on the wall while I'm recording, and I just switch out the letters. So get up, keep moving, just think about improving.
I like that.
I'm redoing. So March 9th is going to be 10 years since I released a song. Okay. And that song I wrote just before I accepted Christ. So the content has potential to connect with people that might need to just make that decision.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pain in it. So my featured artist is going to hit home with the gospel. I tend to bring the struggle and bring the connection, and then I like someone to come in and hit home with it.
Okay. Yep. How do you see, or where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years?
Yes. The music, hopefully everything.
I'm going to be sitting here eating a Samoa cookie. Samoa? I probably don't want to put the chewing noise in there. I don't know. I'll probably be married with a daughter doing music professionally.
Okay.
Lord, is that what's going to happen?
Oh my gosh. All right. LYV family. All right. Tell them where they can find you on social media, where they can find your music, all that, all your social media, all that good stuff. So you can check out David Lampman.
All right, you guys, please go to davidlampmanmusic.com. Lampman, like your word is a lamp into my feet. davidlampmanmusic.com. You'll find everything you need there. My Instagram handle is also David Lampman Music. And yeah, come say hi. I'd love to connect with you guys.
All right, you heard it here. David Lampman, thank you so much, sir, for taking the time out to vibe with me and the LYV family. And watch out for this phenomenal kingdom man. All right, y'all. Till next time, peace and blessings.
Hey, we've got about an hour until I go into Third Coast for recording. I'm going to be sitting in Jumpin' Java Coffee House. Can I just put a couple dollars in the tip jar so I can sit here with my throat coat tea and not buy anything?
Oh, no, you may not. I would feel so bad. You don't have to do that. You can just sit there.
Is that okay? Yeah, I appreciate you so much, man.
No, sit down, man.
Okay. All right. I just spent some time at Jumpin' Java Coffee House. I really wanted to get through some unforgiveness that might be in my heart. Unforgiveness towards those in my life who have disregarded my emotions and who have been quick to fix me instead of understand me. Because I don't want to go into the studio and work on a song having any sort of bitter intentions or impure motives in my heart. I want the song to be convicting, but I also want it to be encouraging and open people's eyes. People need to be understood before fixed. So, all right, I'll see you guys there. Feelings is also a rebuke towards Christians. I mean, when are we going to start being slow to offer advice and quick to hurt alongside other people? A lot of Christians are avoiding their pain, pretending it's not there. They pack it up when they become a Christian and say this is no longer valid. Yeah, there's verses that say we shouldn't base our faith off of our feelings because they're up and down. But Jesus chose to hurt alongside with people. He cried.
Hey David, it's me. Just wanted to check in on you. I know Chris and Brian have been trying to reach you, and I just want to let you know that whatever the reason is, just know that you're loved and that God has a plan for you, and you're going to keep being pursued, whether it be through friends or family. God's going to keep pursuing you. So whether it's something that you're struggling with right now, or you're just like really down, just know that His promises still hold true, and whatever you're feeding yourself right now, any lies that are happening, that's all the enemy, and he wants you to hide. He wants you to be in the shadows. He wants you to be in the darkness, but it's not going to survive. So just know we love you. Bye.
The Christian's going to walk away and think they failed in their conversion efforts, and the person who's hurting is not seeing Jesus. He's feeling like someone else's project. If we're pretending that our pain isn't there, how are we supposed to come alongside people and join them in theirs? The Christian who goes through life avoiding feeling emotions and processing those has no business counseling someone else through their emotions. You might say, hey, don't put your faith in your feelings, but the founder of my faith had feelings, and he does not reject mine. This is a declaration for people who want people to know they're hurting. You're not going to figure me out. If you try to figure me out, that's going to trigger me. It's going to make me go downward even further. I'm all up in my feelings. We filmed Feelings in Naples, Florida. I had Mike Lowe on this track because his skills are fire, but also he's just a feel-good dude.
Feel good.
Working with Mike was awesome because he exhibited a certain level of professionalism that I hadn't seen up until this point. He really challenged me to be better as an artist. From finishing his vocals and getting them to me on time to just knowing how to stunt in front of the camera, Mike takes his goals seriously and knows how to execute. The song is about being in a pretty bad place mentally, but it was difficult to stay depressed when they had such a positive vibe about them. We cooked burgers on the grill, visited beautiful beaches, and attended a great church Sunday morning. I found the weekend to be pretty healing in my journey back to God.
If anything gets in the way, the tide of the battle gonna shift when you pray.
After much prayer, we chose to film at an abandoned hotel in the Everglades that used to belong to the drug cartel. I saw the graffiti on the wall and thought about all the people who painted it and all of the feelings they must have been going through. The camera work was done by Mike's wife, Anna, and I'm happy with how it turned out.
It's okay with you. God wouldn't judge me and I wouldn't do the same.
We got really crazy in this music video, and I hope that you guys like it.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh.
All up in my feelings, I don't care if it's okay with you. God wouldn't judge me and I wouldn't do the same to you. All up in my feelings cause I had a bad day.
Take two.
World's gone crazy, if you feel me you can say it too. All up in my feelings, I don't care if it's okay with you. God wouldn't judge me.
I turn the page to another chapter. Yeah, it's a new day. I seek what I'm after. Close the door, never looking back. Walk in my promised land, yeah, that's a fact. Promises, broken dreams, make believe, my destiny. In this life, you can't just take it. Guarantee.
You know how we end this, so I wanted to read something from my music diary. I do music diary every month on my newsletter, so I would love if you joined my mailing list. And you can go to my website, www.iamcara-mel.com, and you can sign up for my music mailing list, as well as when you go to the Live TV show side, you can sign up for the Live TV mailing list as well. So I'm going to read this. You know how I do. One of the lessons I have learned early on in life is that things change. I used to be the type of person that always tried to write out what my ideal life was supposed to look like by a certain age and or time period. Now, it's good to plan particular goals to reach and so forth, parentheses. That is another topic. But what I'm referring to is how so many of us have allowed society to implant the stigma of what we as people should strive for in life. And if we do not make that mark, we are considered a failure or unworthy. For example, the American dream is a symbolization of how we are to be married around a specific age with the kids to match in a beautiful home surrounded by a white picket fence. I personally feel like this so-called blueprint of what our lives are supposed to look like has left many individuals lost in confusion, depression, and out of their purpose. With this said, we are all different and designed with a calling attached. If you got a name, then you are somebody. And don't let anyone tell you differently. All I'm saying is that walking in your purpose is a choice. Now you can choose to remain to sit on that couch and scroll through your social media feed or start acting today. I am telling you all, it is a game changer when you create a vision board and decide to place it on a wall where it can be seen every morning before you start your day. And so that brings me to the scripture of Habakkuk 2:2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that read it. So know that you have a bright, bright, beautiful future. Just lean upon the Lord. Seek his direction. Ask for his vision. Create that vision board. Really sit down and think about the things that you want out of life and go after your purpose. Peace and blessings, y'all. Love ya.